On this episode of The Rise of Black Wealth, I'll be interviewing Kyle Gupton, an American professional basketball player, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and mentor. He recently played for the Anderlecht Wattworms of Germany and was the 2018 through 2019 scoring champion after scoring a total of 706 points in 18 games. He played college basketball at the University of Illinois Springfield, where he was an all-conference selection by the GLVC and the UIS Male Athlete of the Year. Sit back and enjoy this episode filled with motivational inspiration. Hello, this is Tamara Reeves, and welcome to episode 8 of The Rise of Black Wealth, where our mission is to recognize, inspire, showcase, and empower leaders in our community, business owners, entrepreneurs, motivational speakers, all with the aim of growing together and expanding and to create a positive message within our community. I am so excited for the guest that I have with me today. His name is Mr. Kyle Gupton. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. I'm so excited to have you here. Everyone, this is internationally acclaimed basketball athlete extraordinaire, motivational speaker, entrepreneur. This young man is a mentor, and I'm really excited about today's episode. This guy, Kyle Gupton, has a message of growth, perseverance, motivation that I want him to share with you all today. So Kyle, man, I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks again for taking the time out.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited, actually.
Good. You know what? Let's start from the very beginning. I want to know about where you're from, who the special people are in your life. We're going to take a journey, okay? Because we've got a lot to unpack with you today. That's what's going to make this show so exciting. So who is Kyle Gupton?
Oh, man. So I always tell everybody, I am very, very human. You know, a lot of people see me and they see me play and stuff, and you know, they look at me as like just the basketball player, and it's a big part of what I do as well. But I'm a very fun person. I'm from Ypsilanti, Michigan. You know, I'm the youngest of 3. I have 2 older brothers that also play basketball. So playing against them has always been very, very tough, and it's honestly helped me into the player and the person that I am today. My dad, who has played the drums at our church for over 40 years, he's always been very tough on us when it comes to basketball, and it has actually helped us a lot. You know, all 3 of us were blessed to play college and professional basketball. So I'm very, very thankful for him and my mom, who is the only person that I'm taller than in my family. He's been very, very supportive and just incredible and amazing as well. So I've been really, really blessed to have a good supporting cast around me, and that has helped me a lot, for sure.
That is so excellent, Kyle. You know what? What I want to do too, I want our viewers to understand exactly who they're listening to and watching today. I'm going to run off some stats real quick, and at the same time, I'm going to show some highlights, some footage of your career in basketball. I believe you began in the United States playing, and then we'll elaborate on that, and also Australia and Germany. And with that said, 2013, you were voted in the US the Male Athlete of the Year. 2013, the All GLVC Conference Team. You scored over 1,000 college points. 2014 to 2015, the Midwest ABA All-Star Honors. 2015, Bishop's Cup champion. And in 2016, the Prawn Bowl champion. 2017, the Thunderbolts Most Valuable Player Award, and I believe that's Australia, if I'm correct. The 2017 Waratah League All-Star 5 team. 2019 Orange Cup champion and the 2018 to 2019 scoring champion. That is just amazing. I want to talk about the fact too that while you were in Germany, 706 points in 18 games. Okay, how about that? 85 three-pointers made. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So again, to your credibility, and I just want to congratulate you just heavily right now. I really commend that. That you don't just wake up one day, okay?
Right.
all of a sudden waking up, with these honors and the points and all that. What in the world did you do? Because it goes beyond just playing in your driveway, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me how you've gotten to this point.
Oh goodness. Everybody always says, a lot of practice, and honestly, that is definitely it. I would say, honestly, the physical and the mental standpoint, it really goes hand in hand. When I was actually, to rewind, when I was in 2016 in Australia, I had played a really good season, but I did not get that Waratah All-Star Award. And I was really bummed out about it. So that entire year, I actually used that as motivation. And that second year, I just really was blessed enough to go crazy in the season. And I was blessed enough to get that. And I was very excited because it's actually an award that 5 players out of over 265 players get. So when I saw that, I knew it was like, okay, God is definitely using me for his glory and blessing me. But when it comes to just practicing, I'm I'm kind of like a perfectionist, so to speak. So when I play and I practice, I set little goals and I say I'm gonna make a certain amount of shots here, a certain amount of shots there. If I have an assistant with me, I'll have them give me a little bit of contact, give me a lot of in-game scenarios. And, for example, I would say, okay, I have to make 10 shots here. That used to be an old goal. Now I have to make 10 all-net makes, so 10 swishes, so that I'm very precise in everything that I do. And I try to put together a plan for myself in every workout of this is what I'm going to work on today, this is what I'm going to do. And what it does is it gives me accountability so that I say, okay, no, I can't say I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do half, I'm going to do all of it because I said I'm going to do all of it, 2 hours ago when I was planning the workout. So for me, accountability is a really, really big thing, not only in sports, but in life. And I think that has really, really helped me and is continuing to help me in my career. I'm very blessed to be in the predicament that I'm in, but I also want so much more at the same time.
For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're in school, they're in elementary, and they're already starting to play basketball. They already have dreams of playing for the NBA. They start there. They start right there. They're that young. They don't really necessarily know even about international basketball, but they just know they want to be the best. They already have the ambitions. They're putting the work in. Can you help us with the mindset of young players? What will help them to stand out? What will help them to overcome the challenges of trying out, the older they get? Okay, I hope I'm framing that question clear enough.
You definitely have to have self-determination. You definitely have to have self-determination. I think that's something that a lot of people lack, I think, in life, period. Especially here in America. We live in a very, we live in such a country that is very privileged, so to speak. We want everything we want it. We go to the drive-through, and if we're not getting our food in 2 minutes, it's where's my food at? We are very, very spoiled overall. So I think that a lot of people, when it comes to trying to do something, they're not seeing instant results. They're like, okay, I'm done, I'm out of it. And that's a really big factor when it comes to it. You also have to understand there's a lot of politics involved. I would say even at the middle school, high school, college, and especially professional level, so many politics involved. And I think you have to be able to understand that and really embrace it and just, use that as a leverage as something that can motivate you to overcome, you know. But yes, definitely self-determination, understanding the politics, and I guess you can link this to self-determination, but accountability. You know, it's very easy to do what everybody else is doing. Everybody else is eating bad. Everybody else is partying all the time. Everybody else is doing all these habits and causing for all these distractions, you know, to really take them off course. So you have to be willing to, you know, instead of going out to do something crazy on that Friday night, go to the gym, work out, you know, Saturday morning, you know, go to the gym. You have to be able to really remove who you are as a person and change some of the things about your personality and translate that into what you're trying to do. So for example, if you're not a morning person, say, look, I'm gonna start getting up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna start working out. I'm gonna start setting a lot of these goals so that I have not only the accountability part of it, but that I'm actually achieving everything that I said that I was gonna do. So I would say definitely changing a lot of parts of your personality is also a big part of it as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I like how you framed that. There's a piece in there when you were saying how you can know yourself and frame what you need to accomplish around who you are. Like you said, if you're a morning person or if you're not a morning person, frame those exercise routines or those drills and all that around who you are to make it easier, right?
Absolutely.
I think, and that's a good one. That's a golden nugget right there, even for me personally.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise you're going to feel like this is not fair, or, you know, and there would be a conflict of your inner will, right, against the task at hand. But there are ways to mold what you must accomplish around the type of person that you are. When you're really young, it's kind of hard to say that because you are depending on your parent or your grandparent or your guardian to get you certain places. Sure, but maybe if guardian or parent, you know, if the parent can learn, right, the inner workings of that child or young adult, we can all work together to help attain the goal with some understanding.
Absolutely. I encourage a lot of these guardians and parents to just install that work ethic, you know. Understand that if they're really young, a kid's going to be a kid, and that's totally fine. You have to let a kid be a kid, you know, but also find that balance. I think life is about balancing a lot. Find that balance of, look, you have to understand that if this is what you say you want to do, and that's what you're putting your name on, you have to be able to do what's different than a lot of these other kids out here. You have to come to the gym and you have to hold yourself to a different standard, because a lot of these kids that are playing right now are not going to be playing in another few years. So it's all about finding that balance as well, and just making the kid understand that, you know, nothing's going to be given to you. Like nothing at all, especially in this world, the older you get, nothing's going to be given to you. So just understanding and implementing, you know, the hard work and understanding that it's not going to be easy. You're going to have days that you feel like it. You're going to have days that you don't feel like it. You have to just really win the mental battle in your mind. And I think that's a big part of it as well.
That is a big one. That's a big one. And developing the ability to do that early on is quite key.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, they always say the earlier the better. And in this case, I definitely agree, for sure. You want to set habits at a younger age, for sure. Fortunate for me, I had a little bit of that in me. My dad has helped to enforce that in me, and my brothers as well, and my older cousins. My whole family plays. So me being the youngest and me being the smallest, I'm actually still kind of the smallest. It has helped me a lot, kind of from the standpoint of being not necessarily an underdog, but being, you know, that smaller, younger person who isn't as equipped as the older one. So it helps a lot.
Man, Kyle, how tall are you exactly?
I'm actually 6'2", and my brothers are, Kenny's about 6'5", and Corey is, he's pushing 6'7". So yeah, I'm actually definitely the shortest. My dad is 6'3", my mom is 5'3", so I'm a lot taller than her. I can say that. But that's pretty much it.
Wow. And you
Yeah,
didn't let that stop you, right? That's another lesson. See, that's another thing. No
that's
matter,
right.
you may be the underdog, right?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell people, everybody always says, you have to be really tall to play. I'm like, no, you don't. You have to master certain skills and abilities, and you have to surround yourself with people who have already done what you're trying to do or are better than you, so that you can learn from them and gain knowledge and not be intimidated by them, but be an open book, so to speak, and just learn from them and, take everything that they say in.
I love it. You know what? Let's talk about the rapport that you had with your coaches coming up. So, high school, right? Middle school, wherever you want to begin with developing a rapport and a good relationship with the coaching staff, because it's not always easy, I know, to get along with the coaches, especially if they're drilling all sorts of things into you or not. Necessarily giving you an easy time.
Right, right. Absolutely.
How do you build a rapport with the coach staff?
Yeah, this is always a tough one, because a lot of people will always, the first thing they do is blame the coach. It's the coach, it's the coach, it's the coach. And the unfortunate reality of that is a lot of times there's a lot of truth in it. Depending on what level you're at, you're not going to really find a lot of great coaches. You'll find coaches that will know the game and generally know the game, but they might not be the type of coach that can really help you to set up your future if they see that you're a special type of player. I think that there's a fine line with understanding that, look, this is team basketball versus, look, this is team basketball, but we need you to be aggressive. We need you to make things happen on the court, and we're going to hold you to a different standard, because you have a really bright future, and we want to help you to set up for that. So you don't find a lot of that, and I think once again that's where that self-determination comes in, with understanding, like, look, I might not be in the best situation with my coach, but I have to make the best of it. I got to play hard. I got to dive on the floor for a loose ball. I've got to be the first in every, sprinting race. I got to work on certain things that will help me to stand out. I got to play hard. I have to do something that helps me to stand out. And if this coach doesn't see it, maybe at another level, at the next level, another coach will, when I go and I try out for that team. Just really implementing ways to be different. And it may not always be scoring the basketball. Everybody wants to shoot and do all these crazy things, but coaches really want to see someone that plays hard, someone that's a team player, and someone that's coachable, and someone that can play defense. If you can do all those things, I don't see any reason why you couldn't be on a basketball court at a higher level. So I would say that that's a really big part, staying open to communication. That's one thing I do like about sports, is it teaches you a lot of life lessons. Mm-hmm. Being open to communication and understanding that we all have this. If we all have the same common goal, we have to hold ourselves accountable and hold each other accountable. And that's the thing I would say.
Amazing, amazing. Because all the while you're going through all that, you've got to keep your grades up, and
yeah, absolutely.
You can't get by with
right.
poor grades, right? I mean,
right, absolutely.
You have to balance your time. I have a question in terms of potential pitfalls, okay? There are a lot of challenges that face our youth today. And you mentioned, the parties and things earlier on. Can you describe for us where you ever had to make some difficult decisions to avoid falling into pitfalls? And if you did fall into a pitfall, how did you overcome it?
Absolutely. So I'm gonna actually bring up my my dad on this one. My dad he's amazing. My mom is also amazing. I'm bringing up my dad right now because as a male, as the head male figure, he has always preached to me and my brothers. He would say things like, be thinking all the time. 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 And we'd be like, why is he always saying this? He's always saying be thinking all the time. And as all of us started to grow, I think we started to see why he says that. So a lot of times when I was put in a situation, or maybe like, hey, you want to go to this place, and I know that's probably not the best place to go. My dad always came to mind. Boom, be thinking all the time. And I never wanted to put myself in a situation to where after something happens, I have to look my dad in the face to where he says, didn't I tell you to be thinking all the time? So that has always resonated with me for a very, very long time. Be thinking all the time, be thinking all the time. He would also say, focus, gotta stay focused, gotta stay focused. And his mother, my grandmother, she would always say that as well, you gotta stay focused. And now it makes a lot of sense. I look around at a lot of people, and I wish the best for everybody, honestly, of course. But a lot of people who have made certain decisions, they are unfortunately dealing with those decisions, sometimes even to today. And I'm very grateful that the Lord blessed me with parents who kind of warned me of those particular potential pitfalls. And I think going away to college really helped to expose me to certain things. I think it's very important for people, if you want to do something at a higher level, you need to really be exposed to distractions. As crazy as that sounds, you need to be at least exposed to them so that you can learn how to make the right decisions when those distractions come. And that really helped me when I was away in college. There was always a distraction here, there. And when I left to play professionally overseas, it got even worse. So, you have that, you have all type of possibilities of things you can fall into that if you're not careful, if you're not, as my dad would say, if you're thinking all the time, you unfortunately can fall into those pitfalls. And I mean, there are always ways to get out of things, but you don't want to make it difficult on yourself to fall into those things. And, no temporary satisfaction or temporary distraction is worth your goal. And that's kind of the thing that's been there for me as well. I see a lot of people that had the same goals and they weren't able to achieve them because of certain things. And I just kind of always said to myself, I don't want that to be me.
Oh, man. Oh, okay. Wow. Snap back, Tamara. Snap back. Woo. I cannot get too mesmerized in this, so I cannot keep the show going. I mean, this is power-packed good stuff. This is so good. And I think, Kyle, you get to a point, like in your speaking, I can hear that you're so filled with great experience, great understanding and knowledge, even at a very young age, to where it starts to overflow. You want to share and you want to help other people passionately. And so let's talk about some of the, I guess, mentorship programs you're working on or are currently undergoing right now. What are you doing in terms of mentorship and outreach?
Yeah, so I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. When I first made the decision, like, okay, I want to play professional basketball, I knew for sure that I had to do more than just dribble a ball and shoot it through a hoop. I knew that I wanted to help to reach people. I wanted to use a platform to help reach people, to inspire people, to motivate people, and to be that extra shoulder, so to speak, for people who maybe had really bad situations in their home life, things of that nature. Oftentimes you see a kid or even a person, a grown adult, you see them on a court and they're playing somewhere, and you just see them as a person that's playing somewhere. Oh, look at that person with the black shirt and the black shoes, and the black shorts. You just see them as a person that's a player, but you have no idea what they're going to when they leave. You have no clue. So when I started in Australia, what I was doing was I was actually going around to different schools, and I was signing autographs and taking pictures with kids and talking to the kids and, really just inspiring the kids. And they would follow me and see me in town and, oh, hey, I saw him on the news and stuff like that. And honestly, for me, it was really eye-opening. Like, wow, you can really influence a lot of people through what you do and through the words that you say. there's a lot of negativity on the news and on TV already. So I figure as an athlete, it's really, really big. So I did that a lot when I was in Australia and in Germany, going through the schools, talking to kids in the community in different cities. I had the Kyle Gupton camp in different regions of Australia. When I was there, I would travel and do it, and I would always have a really good turnout, thank the Lord, because once again, I didn't want to just influence, 3 or 4 people. I wanted to influence, multitudes of people. And at some point, I definitely plan on going back to do that. I'm thinking about possibly next year going back to do that. Yeah, that was really, really big. And then here in America, I also have done multiple camps here. I'm doing basketball camps, but I always make sure that I have a speaking part in the basketball camp so that you don't just come and dribble a ball and go home. You come and you listen. And I've had a lot of feedback from different parents and people who say, my son or my daughter, they admire you. And they said, well, Kyle would say this about this, and Kyle would say that about that. So it showed me that people really do listen. Even kids will really listen. And if you implement a good message that will stick with them, I think that it's a really good start. I think that you've done your job. So I'm continuing to do that. I plan on doing a really big one next year. After my next season, doing a really, really big camp here as well. When I actually landed, I'm all over the place, but that's okay. When I actually landed here in Germany, back from Germany, this was over 2 months ago. The very next day, I had to repack my bag to go to New Mexico. So I went to New Mexico to do a camp for Native Americans. And of course, they've had a rough history as well as African Americans. So they actually allow different minority groups to come together and be a part of the camp. So I did that, and I was gone for almost a week doing that in New Mexico. That was my second time doing that as well. So I'm always just trying to really stay busy in the community, doing things for people and doing things for people and just really just staying busy for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Are your camps for girls and boys, or young men and young women?
Girls and boys, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Both. Awesome. Do you have any dates for the next camp, or how can people reach out to you to find out more about your basketball camps here for the U.S.?
Absolutely. So I would say right now the best bet is Instagram. I post a lot of things on there. I do have a website, but right now it's under construction. So I plan to get that up and booted and fixed up within the next month or so. I will also have merchandise, t-shirts, things of that nature that will be released as well. I have some shirts that I had before that said I shall on it. So anything that you inspire to do, you shall. The Bible speaks a lot about shall. So you shall do it. And that was the point of that shirt. So I have different shirts coming up and with different phrases and different meanings to really just help motivate and inspire people, or it might just even be a catchy phrase that I make up. Yeah. Because
you have a line, like a KG kind of a brand?
Yeah. I'm starting a brand as well. I have shirts coming out pretty soon that says everything's a layup. And what it is, for those of you who don't know basketball, is a layup is the closest shot that you can make. Is when you go up and you just lay the ball over the rim. So when I'm shooting even a fire shot, I'll say that's a layup. So I make it say basically like that's easy. And that's kind of what I want people to implement in their life as well. Something may be, from distance, so to speak, but it's easy. And it's easy because not only of your self-determination and your accountability that you have, but because most important thing, you have God, He's on your side. So when you put all that together, everything's a layup. So that's what my shirts come out are going to say. Everything's a layup.
Wow, I'm loving that. I'm excited for you. I'm excited.
Thank you.
I guess my final question will be in terms of getting this mindset on the right track. It's like going against gravity sometimes for people to change certain habits and to develop new ones for their betterment and all of our betterment. What are some of the books that you've enjoyed reading, and who are some of your mentors that have helped you along the way?
So it's funny. I do a lot of talking with people. My oldest brother, Corey, who said hello, by the way, before I talked to you.
Corey.
Yeah. I talk to him a lot about a lot of stuff. And my other brother, Kenny, as well. I try to talk to him when I can. But me and Corey talk a lot. He reads a lot of books. I haven't read as many books lately, but what I forgot to disclose is that I'm also writing a book. So right now I'm in the process of doing that. And it's amazing how if you sit down and you just write things and you write your true thoughts and your true feelings, you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about yourself. And I've learned a lot based on through my experiences, my recent experiences with people and things of that nature. You know, I make sure that when I'm writing, I'm in a clear mindset. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I'm not, writing out of being upset. I'm writing out of how I truly feel about something and things that I have learned. So family for sure, like I said, my brothers, but also just writing, honestly, doing a lot of writing, a lot of thinking and reflecting. I think we all should do that. Not avoid it. A lot of us avoid it, I think, because we don't want to think about some of the things that are wrong in our life. But those things could definitely be corrected if we focus on those things and how we can fix it, even if it's writing it down. The great book says to write a vision and make it plain. So sometimes you may have to write little things down, and it may not happen all overnight. Be specific in what you want to do. If you say, I want to lose weight, that's not enough. What am I going to do to lose this weight? Am I going to go to the gym 4 times a week? I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to not eat that. Little things like that. When we're really precise, I think that's when a goal can be met. Just like when we say, we're going to hang out sometime. We're going to hang out. I say this all the time. We're going to hang out sometime. Sometime could be next week, next month, next year. There's people that have told me that 4 years ago, we still haven't hung out, live in the same state, So you have to be precise. We're going to hang out Saturday at 8 o'clock at this place. So in saying that, preciseness with everything. You've got to be precise in everything that you say, because now it brings accountability once again. And now that makes you have to do what you say you do. And you can't just bail on it. So
exactly. Case in point, I told you I want you on my show, and we scheduled the time and the date, and here we are.
There you go. We made it happen. We made it happen. I could have said, yeah, we got to do that sometime. Yeah, a year goes by or 2 years. So, yeah. Be specific.
I knew I had to have you on. I'm so glad that you did this. Thank you. Any final thoughts for these young people out here?
Thoughts, just really, if there's something that you want to do for yourself and for your family, I would really just highly suggest that you put together a plan and you do it. And if something happens within that plan that sets you back, that's okay. A lot of times we're in such a rush. And we're watching everybody else's social media. And we're trying to compete with people who are not even competing with us. I was watching Joel Osteen, and he was talking about one time he was on a run and he was trying to just outrun this guy, right? He's outrunning this guy. He finally realized, I passed him, but he missed his turn. So don't miss your turn. Don't miss your turn. Stay focused on your goal. Understand that things will happen and it will not be easy. But once again, God is on your side. I've been blessed to be able to do things for not only myself, but my family and my friends. And there's still so much more that I want to do. I'm not even scratching the surface. So there's so much more I want to do. And that alone is my motivation. I have a lot of things coming up. Still deciding on where I'm playing. So everything right now is just, everything's all good. Everything's all good, even when some things are not good. So
it's all in the mind.
It literally is all here. This is where
my God. Well, Kyle, thank you again. I appreciate this time today, and I'm excited. We're going to keep tabs on you to look for more things, your brand, all that, your motivational speaking engagements, your camps, so much more to come with Kyle, you guys. So thanks again for watching, everyone, and we will see you on the next episode of The Rise of Black Wealth. Bye, Kyle.
See ya.